Good evening, everybody, and welcome to what is the first, or possibly the last, who knows, of a podcast that I've been musing doing for a while, and it's going to be entitled Nights in the Workshed, because that's when I come down here, mainly, gather my thoughts, work on whatever project I'm working on, and just generally pass around, getting the ideas out of here onto whatever medium that I'm going to be working in. Reason why I want to do this is twofold. One, just to update people on what I'm doing, what projects I might be working on, what I can speak about, what I can't speak about. Some are personal projects, some are projects that are for bigger projects for TV or film or what have you. But ultimately it's just to have a chat, because anyone who knows me knows I like to chat to people, I like to listen to people, I like to help people, and when I'm out and about, I'm doing jobs and kind of working on stuff, people ask me, you're going to do online courses, you're going to do online workshops and stuff like that, and probably, the new age that we're in now with COVID and what have you, I probably will do that. But you know what, sometimes it's just nice to talk to people, and there's a way of doing it. I might be there physically with people, but people who know me know that I'm quite a personal guy, and I like to talk to people and hear what people are talking about and doing and that they're up to. And I think sometimes during lockdown we might have missed a bit of that. So this is just a bit of a kind of a social even down the bottom of the shed, and it may be a regular thing. Might do it once every week, might do it once every month, see how it goes. If I'm working on something different, I might do it once every few days, but we'll see how it goes. So if you like it, click the like button, let me know. If you've got any questions, type some questions. If you want to make any comments, negative, positive, whatever, go for it. I'm thick-skinned some of the time, pussycat most of the time. Let's see where it goes, and what it will be, it'll be real. I'll probably make mistakes, we all make mistakes, that's the whole point of it. You see some of them polished web episodes and online sessions, and they're all spot on and perfect. It isn't always like that. We all make mistakes, and that's the whole point of it. You learn from your mistakes. So we're going to crack on, and as I'm working, and I'll tell what I'm working on and what it's about, and also we'll just have a little general chit chat about how I'm at the minute, how lockdowns affected people, how it's affected the industry, as you see it, and how we can all help each other, I think, in getting through what's been a difficult time. So without further ado, tonight, by the way, it's Sunday 4th of July, so happy Independence to all of my American friends out there, to which I've got quite a good few. Hope you're all having a great night. This is pre-recorded, so obviously you all have sore heads by now. But yeah, so what I'm going to be doing tonight is I have got a pre-made head cast here for a show. I've been asked to help out on doing some props and some other stuff, maybe some blood gags later on down the line, for a TV show which is currently in production. This headcast was done recently by the designer of the show, Melanie Lenahan, and one of her crew, Nicoletta, and they've done a fantastic job. It's a silicone headcast of one of the crew, the director, I believe. It's for a scene within the show. Can't go too much into it, but basically what I'm going to be doing, I am going to be making a plaster cast of this head, using the silicone mold, what we've got here. I am then going to be demoulding it, cleaning up later on in the week, resculpting parts of it, sort of. It's going to be a severed head, so I'm going to be resculpting some around the neck part and making it a little gnarly and kind of spinal cord and stuff like that. Then I'm going to be remoulding it, so I'm going to be making a silicone jacket with a fiberglass jacket around that, and then I'm going to be recasting that in silicone, backed with the soft foam ready for painting and hair punching. So that's the process, more or less, what we're going to be doing. But first off, we start and I'm going to be making the plaster cast of the head. So first off, just going back to the cast, it's a fantastically done cast, really nice work, all the detail captured in there, really lovely job. The only thing I've really had to do is that the nose holes in that need to plug in a bit, so I did that using, just look over here, it's a silicone putty. This one's by Smooth On, it's called Equinox 35, it's a fast setting 2-part silicone putty. Mix A and B together, it work, you know, you've got a little bit of working time with that, and when it dries up, it's like silicone. You can just plug little holes and gaps, and it's perfect for plugging gaps like that. But I'll put what that is in the notes in case anyone wonders what it is. Yeah, so it's just a 2-part silicone putty. Okay, next off, and there's always be coffee in the shed, by the way. Ghostbusters mug, standard. So what we're going to do next, we've got a bucket of water, cold water, and we've got our plaster in popcorn buckets over here. Just makes it easier for me to pour in and mix. You don't want loads of water in it, you don't want like a half full or what have you, even though it's, you know, it's a fairly big size head. The plaster mixed with the water will make it rise, and we don't want it, don't want too much, don't want too little, just probably a quarter full, if that, with water. The plaster, we don't want it too thick a solution. We want a nice creamy consistency when we make the plaster. I'll show you that in a minute, how we want it. Get it in there, make sure we get all the nooks and crannies, get it all, certainly the detail, get in there, then the nose, get it right into the ears, to make sure that that's all filled in there. Then we're going to fill it up. I'm going to make this a full head cast, not part head cast. It's going to be a full solid block head cast, this one. So let's crack on. So I'll put the head cast in another bucket with some material at the bottom, just keep it solid and in place, you know, it's not moving. It's in a nice place there that I can get in there and work about with it. Okay. Got our bucket of water and our plaster, and all I want to do is start pouring that into the water. Pouring that in. And you want to get it to a point where the plaster comes up above the water. Start mixing it up a touch. Now that's quite watery. Make sure you wear your gloves on this, because, as you know, when plaster goes off, it can cause burns to your skin. So always put your gloves on if we're mixing this, or use a mixing stick, whatever you want to do. I'll put a bit more plaster in there. Go the creamy now. So you don't want it too thick, for the simple reason, working time, the thicker it is, the less time you're going to have to work with it. It'll start going off quick. You want a nice working time and leave it to go off give it enough time to go off, you know, a day or two, just to make sure that it's set up properly. A little bit more in. Nice and creamy now. Okay, so again, another reason why I was going to do this was just to talk about what's been going on in life. You know, lockdowns affected us all, it's affected the industry, it's affected a lot of people, you know, being on the forums and talking to friends and stuff like that. And you know, it occurred to me that a lot of people have just been struggling with the mental health. I certainly struggle with my mental health terribly during lockdown for a number of reasons. You know, the situation that people found themselves in. You know, I was out helping people during lockdown, families who were in need. You know, I was out making PPE for frontline workers, and it was just shocking, some of the stories that you hear, and it had a massive effect on my mental health. And that also had an effect on my creativity. I couldn't bring myself to pick a tool up or be creative or what have you, and it stifled a lot of energy, and it made, you know, just my brain, there's so much going on up there that I couldn't even be creative. And it's only just lately that I've started getting the spark back, and I was just, you know, after a couple of phone calls with some friends in the industry who wanted a couple of things making, whether it be blood bladders or what have you, and I started to, you know, to spark up again. And sometimes you need that, just a little spark to get back up again. Collaborations with people. Okay, just bear with me. Sometimes people, you know, find it hard to do that, whatever situation they're in, but we're in an industry whereby people are so helpful and they help each other out. You know, the amount of friends I've made in this industry. Just bear with me, we're going to pour this in. Nice and creamy. I want to take it up so just past the ears a minute. Just bubbling up a bit. I just want to make sure we get in to the ears. Let's fully fill there. Get right into the ear grooves. Make sure we're really in there. We don't want to, when we demould it, find that we've got little bits of ear that haven't been filled. There we go, right in. All the grooves done. Okay, I'll just get the last bit in there. Okay, and there should be just enough to take me to where it needs to be. Spot on. How's that for a good eye? That wasn't pre-measured, by the way. That was a fluke. Okay. Just give that a little tap. Some of those bubbles to the surface. Okay, and we're filled. That'll start going off now. As I said, it's not too thick, so it will take a little bit of time to set up, but just leave that to go. That should be fine. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people had issues during lockdown, mental health, and certainly people find it a little bit difficult. Certainly men do, I know I do, to open up and you know, talk about your problems, talk about, you know, what's on your mind, talk about your troubles. And while you keep it inside, it kills you, it eats up at you. And you know, and certainly in an industry like this, it affects every aspect. You know, your creativity and your drive, you want to work. It just, you know, your everyday life, it takes over you. And I think as a creative, you need to be able to open up, because if you don't, it will eat away at you massively, and it'll stop you from being able to do stuff like this, be able to make stuff. A creative who's not creating is just an empty shell. You know, the amount of creators I speak to get that creative block, and they say, you know, how do I overcome it and stuff like that. Often it's, you know, it is to do with mental health, I believe, and you know, people get stuck in a rut, they can't get out of it. I think the thing is, from my point of view, is, you know, one thing that lockdown has taught me is just reach out and talk to people, reach out and help people. There's a lot of people out there probably going through similar situations as you. There's a lot of people who are probably gone through similar situations and you come out the other side. Probably a lot of people who understand what you're going through. There's probably people who don't understand what you're going through and can't relate to it. And maybe that, you know, you've slipped off the radar and they don't understand why. It's no shame in help, love the people and asking for help, or just dropping someone a message and just saying, you know, how are you? Dropping me a message if you want, you know, if you know me or you don't know me. I'm always someone you can talk to, and there's other guys out there, other girls out there who quite happily will just, you know, be a listening ear. And I think that's important. I think people need to just be open to listening to people. Giving 5 minutes to someone, because that 5 minutes might be the first 5 minutes that someone's had where actually someone's listened to the troubles they're going through, and they may find that they've been going through similar problems themselves and they didn't even realise it, that they haven't been going through the problems, but they can absolutely help the person in one way or another. And it's just about shared experiences. Everyone's got a story, everyone's got a problem, everyone's got a solution. It's helping each other. It's community. It is a community. The special effects community is fantastic. You know, from early days when I started as a wet behind the ears, naive idiot, for want of a better word, the special effects community was fantastic. It was always open. It was always honest. It was always helpful, and it still is. You know, the mediums have changed now, and you know, obviously, I'm what I'm doing here with the podcast, YouTube, and TikTok. I've just been roped into making a TikTok account by my daughter. It's all different mediums now, how we interact with each other. But you know what? It's not a bad thing, because you know, people can be talking to each other in an instant now, and we can ask for help each other with projects. We can ask for help each other in life. Just a general chit chat, pick me up, phone call. It doesn't matter what it is. Just reach out and help each other. I'm grateful for the people that I'm not going to name names, people I spoke to during lockdown, after lockdown. Still randomly get phone calls just out the blue now, just general chit chat, and it's good. It's good to talk to people. It breaks the mundane, it breaks the everyday that you might be going through. And I think people just need to recognise that, you know, that there's help out there, there's professional out there, but beyond the professional, we've got each other. Sometimes that's all we've got. And don't just sit there, you know, suffering in silence, suffering on your own, thinking that no one wants to listen to you. They probably do. They're probably made up to hear from you. They're probably actually sometimes wondering, I haven't heard from them for a while, I wonder how they are. And if you're thinking that as well, actually get in touch with them. Get in touch with them and see how they are. Because they might be thinking the same thing. Why haven't they been in touch with me? Have I done something wrong? You might think like that. I don't know. You might not. But I think, again, come back to lockdown, it's made me understand and work people out a lot better, and realise that people have different needs. People have different pressures in life. Some have no pressures, some have lots of pressures, some have pressures that we didn't even know about, because they've just gone completely under the radar. And I think it's just about, you know, recognising, I think, and understanding. So, you know, I think the big thing is just look out for each other, be kind to each other. If someone has to help them. you know, if you can give someone 5 minutes of your time, perfect. You know, it's so good, so rewarding, just being able to help someone. Some people mightn't be into that kind of thing. You know, they want to keep themselves soft. You know, it's fine if you want to do that. That's fine. Give it a go though. Give it a go. Helping someone often can be the difference in making someone's day and breaking someone's day. You know, someone got to reach out and ask for help, and you give it to them, and that just changes the whole day, the whole outlook on what could have been a real shitty week. You know, a real bad week. And you just give them 5 minutes of your time, and it makes such a difference. Similarly, you could swerve them, not pick up the phone, or someone asks you to help and you say, well, do you know what, I can't be asked, I'm not interested. And at that point you might just break that person. You might really just send them over the edge when all he wants to do is just chat and just have a little 5 minutes. It's a difficult one, it's a hard one. From my own personal experience, I think everyone's got an ear that can be used. Everyone's got an experience that can be used, and everyone can be a help for someone. So why not be that person? Why not be that help? These chats are going to be deep from the workshop. I think this is the first one, but I just want to sort of like give it a relay of what it was going to be like. And you know, again, you might switch off halfway through, you might not, but this is what it's going to be about. Just me working on whatever project I want to work on. So there's this one, it could be just a personal project next time, it could be something just completely random, whether it's sculpting going on, making flat plate prosthetics, and we'll see where we go from there. You know, if anyone feels that they want to interact or get involved in the future in it, and maybe talk about their experiences, what they've been going through, this is open to evolve. This one just wants to do something a bit different. So we've been going for about 20 minutes now. I don't want to bore people for about an hour and a half talking about nonsense. I just wanted to give you a little kind of general insight into what I'm doing, into what I've been going through, into what other people might have been going through, and just say, do you know what? Let's be a community. Let's help each other. Let's reach out to each other, and hopefully, you know, we can get through whatever shit we're all going through. So, that's the first one over and done with. It's pissing down outside. I've got to get back to the house. I get soaked. But that's all for tonight. Happy 4th of July. This has been Talks from the Workshed. I don't know what I fucking called it now. Well, I'll get the title and we'll evolve it. But I'm Andy. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've took something from it. And if you like it, let me know. Speak to you soon, everyone. Bye bye.